Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel which is all about mental health awareness and wellness. 30th March is World Bipolar Day and I wanted to shed some more light on bipolar. What is it? Most people like to say, oh, you're so bipolar, oh, you just have some mood swings, but is it really about that? Bipolar mood disorder is usually a mental health disorder that is something that needs to be treated. And when you talk about mood swings, some people may think that just because I go from happy to sad or I get angry quickly, then I must be bipolar, but not really. Yes, it is a mood disorder because it means that one can switch from one mood to the other without really having the control over it, but that is not all that it involves. Bipolar mood disorder usually has three aspects. The first aspect, we usually call it a manic episode. So a manic episode is where you are extremely on the high. You see, when you talk about bipolar, it means two poles, and it is an extreme pole and another extreme pole, and manic episode is usually one of the first poles. And the manic episode is where you have elevated mood, you can be very irritable, you can be very expansive in mood, so you'll find that someone is just over the top. The other thing that is characterized with a manic episode is you find that people want to speak too much, they want to talk too loud, they have rapid speeches. I can't even keep up, but you get the idea. So it usually involves someone talking without stopping. And this actually goes with another thing which you call flight of ideas. So you'll find that they will start talking about Timbuktu, and then to Mombasa, to Panari, to Nairobi, to where they will have so many ideas that are coming in their mind. And what that means is also that they have this many thoughts that are rushing in their head, so that they can have these different ideas that do not even make sense or even add up. The next thing is they have something called inconsequential goal-oriented activities. What does this mean? They may come out with brilliant ideas of maybe a business, of maybe going to school, of even it can be something as small as they want something and it does not even make sense, but they want it and they want it now, and if it doesn't happen, we are going to fight. So this is something that also happens with that. The other thing is they may have this extreme sense of confidence. I mean, who doesn't want that? But if it is something that actually doesn't make sense, that is deluded, maybe I might start telling you stories of how Waigoro is my sister because my name is Warugoro. Maybe they will start telling you how they are rich and you know where they're coming from. Then this is a sign of a delusion which we call grandiosity. The next thing that happens is that they may experience some form of psychosis, and psychosis is usually accompanied by things like hallucinations, hearing voices, seeing things that are not there. So for someone to be diagnosed with bipolar, they should have at least some of these symptoms that I have mentioned. So the other pole is called the depressive episode, which now, as you know, depression is extreme sadness. I don't have the energy to do anything. They can even get to points where they can't even wake up and go to work. And something else to note is that these periods happen over some time, weeks, days even, so that you can decide now it's a mood. You can't really, maybe in the morning don't feel like going to work and then I have a depressive episode. No, it is something that goes for a while. There is also something else in the episodes that is called hypermania, which is a lesser version of the mania. So it is actually an extreme form of elevation, but it is not as extreme as mania, because when one has the mania, they actually need to be hospitalized. But with hypermania, it does not really need hospitalization. So something else that is worth noting is that there are 3 types of bipolar mood disorders. There is bipolar 1 disorder, there is bipolar 2 disorder, and then we have something we call cyclothymia. So these ones are characterized by the episodes that one has. So you'll find that one has the extreme mania and then depression. There is one that has hypermania and then some depressive. And then the cyclothymia has the mood shifts, the shifts within the episodes, but they are not as severe as the bipolar 1 and 2. So the question is now, since you have learned about this, what do you do if you know someone who is going through it, or you are going through it? What is the next thing? So of course, with bipolar mood disorder, it is very, very important to have it treated by a professional. So what does this include? First of all, medication. Second of all, therapy. And you find that there are most people who do either or, and it usually doesn't really work. So you need to combine the two. And most of the time with medication, because it is a mood disorder, then you're given mood stabilizers to just stabilize you, so that instead of being on the 2 extremes, you can be able to balance. Because at the end of the day, we have good days, we have bad days. That is the nature of our life. But at least when you get these medications, then you can have that balance instead of going over the top to the extreme sides. The next thing is therapy, where you get to learn how to manage your symptoms, how to be able to know when you are having a manic episode, a depressive episode, how to be able to cope with it. The next thing is that I know, and we all know, mental health illnesses are very stigmatized, and this is usually because people do not understand what they are, and that is why we have days like this, like World Bipolar Day, so that people can know these are things that happen, these are things that are among us, and at least when you have a word for it, it is easier to treat it, to manage it, and to understand it, instead of judging someone who is having this. What are some of the things that people with bipolar want you to know? They want you, first of all, to know that this is not something that they can control. Or you tell them, why are you too elevated? Why are you too moody? So you just control yourself. No, it is something that actually they can't control. The other thing is, do not tell them that we all have mood swings or we all have ups and downs. This is not something that they would want to hear. They would actually want you to understand them. It is something that they are going through. They have no control over it. So the worst thing that they would need is for you to make it seem like such a small thing that we all go through. The other thing is now with supporting. You know, you may want to call them out, you may want to control them, you may want to just snap out of it, but the best way to support is to listen without judging and offer support when they are going for their treatment. So this is how you can be able to help them. If you are someone with this disorder, it is also very important to track your moods so that you can actually see if there is a cycle to it, or it's just that you are having a good day or a bad day. The other thing to learn is now the coping mechanisms around it, which you can be able to be taken through. And the next thing is support. Support is very important, from family, from friends, from a professional, from peers, people who are going through it as well. So it is very important to seek for that kind of help. I hope that you have learned something about bipolar mood disorder. Please comment down on what you have learned, or even something that I may have left out. Don't forget to like, comment down below, share the video. And until next time, remember that mental health is for everyone.